What's up, y'all? Your homeboy back in Kiev, Ukraine. Just wanted to give a little shout out to President Trump and all the folks in Washington, the Washington elites. Looks like the national debt has soared to $22 trillion. And it just reminds me that no matter who is president or who is elected in office, it doesn't really matter. It's like the elites just don't care about what's going on in in this country, the infrastructure. Nobody's willing to make what the fuck is that? Anyways, nobody's willing to make any real significant changes because we have too many sacred cows in our country. Sacred cows that cost trillions of dollars, and no one has the political will to address them. So we go through this whole charade, this pomp and circumstance, and we talk about fighting for the American people and fighting for freedom and all this bullshit. And we just end up going into more and more debt. And it just startles me that neither Democrats, well, of course, neither Democrats nor Republicans, nor anyone in the middle wants to address these sacred cows that we have. The biggest one being the military. I mean, I love our service members, but holy crap. I mean, we've got to do something about military spending. We got to do something about all these unnecessary wars that we get into. We got to do something about government waste. We got to do something about all the silly social programs that we have. Free health coverage for everybody, and welfare and all kinds of silly nonsense. All of it is steadily eroding our national security. And believe me, having a stable economy, that is part of the national security. A lot of people think, well, we can just spend and spend and spend. And when it comes to the military, you just got to spend more and more. We gotta support our troops, and that means buying nuclear warheads and buying stealth fighters and naval carriers and aircraft carriers and battleships and tanks, and we got just hundreds of everything, thousands of everything, and it's still not enough because America, and which is fine. All right, and we can continue to play this game. I love my country, I love the United States, but I mean, at a certain point, we got to say our patriotism or our faux patriotism is costing us money. We can't continue to afford and pay into these sacred cows. But mathematically, it's already, if we don't do something about this now, we are going to have our country be destroyed. And that's really the issue here. We can either keep the sacred cows or we can have true national security. It's one or the other. We can't have both the sacred cows and national security. It doesn't work that way. We only have so many resources. And remember, government, here's the thing about sacred cows. All of the sacred cows come from the federal government. Government by default, by their very nature, is inefficient. You can take a government function, give it to the private sector, and of course the private sector will almost always be more efficient, more effective, and more profitable than the government, because again, government is inherently inefficient. I'm going to make another video explaining why that is. But for now, it's safe to say $22 trillion. I remember back in 2013, I was having this conversation about the non-sustainability of the national debt. And it was back then 16 trillion. So we added 6 trillion more dollars to the national debt in just you know, in like 5 or 6 years, we just added $6 trillion. And it's stunning. Our debt, the principal on our debt is so much. You guys, this is the crazy thing. The principal on our debt is so much that we're adding $1 trillion of debt every year. And it's going to get more as the years go by, because that's how interest works. That's how the financial leverage works, right? It works against us when we're in that much debt. So holy crap, we are we are up Schitt's Creek without a paddle, and it's only going to get worse unless we address these sacred cows.